Here, I'm going to give you a short demo of a ThreeJS project. ThreeJS is like, you see the website here, 3js.org. So this is like a 3D sort of library. Let's say to go to the documentation here. So you will see a lot of functions is a bit, and then here you have a manual. So there is a set of instructions. There's nothing to be installed, but then there's still like every 3JS project needs one HTML file. So basically, you have to just use HTML. So in this, um, so I'll just explain how you can create a simple HTML file where a rotating cube. And this library is very useful if you want, if you're a student, you're a school or a college student, or even a professional. This is a great library to use. How to create a scene and how to create a camera. There are a lot of things here which I'll explain, but let's just do the basic now. Yeah. So let's go on to the video. I'll explain about how you can create a Three.js project. It's a very simple project. Three.js is like a 3D sort of library which you can use to create applications on and also websites. So here you see the code. This is a simple HTML code. You have the HTML starting and the HTML ending, if you see here. And then you here have the body, then the script is starting. So the main thing you need to understand is the import here. Import star as 3 from this location 3.module.js. JS is JavaScript. So what is happening in the first line, that is the line 5, is you're importing a package that is from the 3JS. So this is like a bulk of code, JavaScript code, which is pre-programmed and is given to you. So this you can import it and then start using it. So otherwise you would have to program everything on your own. So you don't have to do that. So all you need to do is just import it from 3JS and then you can start using all the modules. So that's done. Then the next thing is you create a scene in VR or CAD or any domain like in this area. So scene is like a place where all the actors play. In the real world, you have a scene, right? So like that, you have a scene. You have to create a scene where you can create in a game. You have a scene where all the objects move around. Like that, you have to create a scene, and you see new, and then this is the syntax to do that. So new three dot scene. So basically, you are using three. That is the object from or the module from the 3JS, and then you're creating a scene object. That is, you have a variable scene. And then scene dot background is like where you create a new three dot color. So you're creating another object where scene dot background. So you are setting a color for the scene here. Then that is so the first step, you create a scene. Then the next step is you have to create a camera, and that's also the same syntax, three dot perspective camera with the three parameters, and then camera dot position you put it to 3, so you can change this value and you will be able to see the changes. So these are the two things you already created. Then you create a renderer. Renderer means like presenting, so showing. That's what the renderer means. And this is also you're creating a 3 dot WebGL renderer. So these are the three objects you already created. Then for the renderer, you are setting a size with inner width and inner height. Then document dot body append child. So you're adding this renderer to the document. So this document means like it's the whole thing which brings everything together. So the details I'm not going, but just keep this in mind. The more structured, like one of the points about document everything, I'll explain in the other tutorials. So for now, just keep in mind you're adding this renderer to the document. Okay, so that's done. Then for the lighting, you see, you create another variable light and then create an object new three dot directional light. So this will give a sort of a lighting effect, which is needed for 3D objects. Also in gaming, you have different lighting effects. So then you have the light dot position dot set. You put three values scene dot add. So then one you have created this light object and you need to add it to the scene. So basically you add all the things to the scene so that it's being displayed. So what we want to do is we want to display a rotating cube. So we need to create a cube, which is like a 3D object. And that also we are using three. So everything is coming from three and three dot mesh. So mesh is like a structure in geometry. And here you are passing three parameters, new three dot box geometry and the new three dot mesh to material. So material is like a color. Basically in CAD and VR, we use the material for the color. So you set the color for the cube, that's it. Then in the next line, line 30, you add the cube to the scene. So like what you added light to the scene in line 20, like that you add cube to the scene. So these are all done. So we have set up the whole scene and the objects and the cube should rotate. So then the next point is we go to we want to create an animation. So we want a rotating cube, right? So for that, we create a function in JavaScript and we call it animate. And in that, you see, we are calling a function called request animation frame. You're passing the same animate inside. And then you are calling cube.rotation x, cube.rotation y, and render.renderer scene and camera. So renderer, you're in the renderer thing, you're putting the scene and camera inside and you see that the rotation x and y is changing. Plus equal to means it's same as like equal to zero point 0.01. So you are basically x equal to x plus 1. Yeah. So same syntax. We just write it in short form to say plus equal to. So what happens is the cube dot rotation dot x keeps increasing. The value keeps changing. So it keeps rotating. Yeah. So this is where and this animate function is called recursively. Then finally, you call the animate function. So when you call the animate function, that is like a door. So you start the animation, yeah. So then you start the animation function is called, and the rendering is started. So this is the very simple program. So we will just have a look how it runs. So this is a very short example. So So here after we have coded the HTML file, so you have to save the file as .html. Make sure that it should be extension should be .html. Yeah, so I'll just right click the file. So when you store it as .html, it will show any of the browser icon which you are having. So when I right click and edit, this text file opens. Let me just show it to you. I'm just bringing it here. So this HTML file will be a text file. So where you have text editor, so you see that, right? So let me make it on size here. So here, so you see all this code, right? But make sure it is .html. Yeah, when you can save it like file, save as, and then you have to select .html, not as .text. So if it is .text, so it won't work. So you see here. So here, sometimes you might have all these. I'm using Notepad++. If you're not using, just select like all types and then type .html like this here. Let me just move the window here. Yeah, so you see here, you see .html. Like that, you have to type and then you'll have this file. So once you have that file, all you need to do is double click on it. When you double click, it opens the browser. So once you have the browser, basically the whole thing shows up. Let me just show it to you. Okay, so so you see that, right? So this sort of animation. It's very easy to create with ThreeJS. Yeah. So if you're a school or a college student, do try it out. It's a great tool to learn 3D graphics and also gaming. If you can create nice games with this, and also in 3D CAD, computer-aided design, quite useful. So try it out, and if you have any questions, you can post it on the comments. Yeah. Thank you.